Hi, my name is Chase Roberts. I am a yoga teacher, world traveler, and interior detailer for cars. I know that sounds like a lot because it is. But your 20s can be whatever you want it to be, and that's what this account is about. But I'm making myself do this little challenge. I saw this girl on Instagram today. She called it the 30-day Delulu challenge, which I will put her in the YouTube down below or whatever. I'm still figuring out YouTube, but I was like, this is so interesting. She was like, you have 30 days to do the most delusional things that you can think of maybe goals or actions that you normally wouldn't do. But it's kind of to put you into your highest self and what you can do in 30 days. So my 30-day challenge is going to be posting every single day on YouTube for 30 days. And so I've been posting every day on Instagram, but I haven't done that on YouTube, and I've only been doing once a week. And to me, that sounds delulu. Honestly, posting every single day for 30 days sounds like a lot. But I figured the videos don't have to be so complicated. We make everything we do so complicated. At least I do. I'm like, it's got to be perfect. It's got to look good. I got to be doing something. But I figured, you know what? I'm just going to show up for 30 days as me, and we'll see where these 30 days take me, because I don't know. But I'm always up for a challenge, and I feel like this is going to hold me accountable. So for the 30 days, it'll be 10, she made a list of 10 things. And so they were meditation, dancing, journaling, just many little habits that I want to implement in my life that I say I'm going to do and then I don't always do them. So if I do a 30-day challenge, I'm going to really see if I stick to them, you know? So I started it today, and honestly too, another thing that I've learned in the past couple days is having two main things to focus on during the day. I think I pack my schedule a little too much, and it's maybe things that I don't even need to be doing. And so it's two things that you really need to get done. And so for me, those two things, I had a detail to get done today for a car, and then I also had flyers that I was making up to hand out for my detail business. Those were my top two things. I got them done, and so now I have a little bit of extra time to film. And that kind of just makes it a little less overwhelming when you have a big to-do list of things you need to get done. And I feel the best thing to ask yourself is what if you got one thing done today, what would make you happy at the end of the day? And that kind of helps me prioritize what I need to get done. So we'll see how this 30 days goes, and kind of see what person I am at the end of the 30 days. I think this is more of a place where I can document my journey and see what I'm like at the end of the 30 days, because I hope to be a different version of myself. And the people that want to follow will follow me along my journey, and maybe there's some people that want to follow me along on this 30-day challenge. And so I'm going to tell you a little funny story time. I thought I would start off my video with one of my travel stories that will kind of make you laugh or maybe make you cry. I don't know, because I'm still confused about how this happened and why people are the way that they are. And I'm not dissing the person that I'm telling the story about. I just think it's actually really funny that it happened. So I've done a lot of traveling in the past 3 years over 25 countries, and I've learned a lot, and I've honestly had some really amazing experiences along the way, and I'd say honestly pretty safe. So this story is when I first backpacked Europe with my best friend, and we were in an elevator of our Amsterdam hostel. So to paint a picture, this hostel in Amsterdam was very much a party hostel. They had a coffee shop downstairs, which if you don't know, coffee shops are their weed shops. And there was a bar and everything. And so this place was always bustling, hustling, stuff was going on all the time. And I was like, I hate this, because I'm not a huge partier, and so I like my sleep. And this hostel had about 15 people in the room or something crazy. I have not stayed in a room with this many people, and there were just men coming home throwing up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, I am over this. So anyways, we go down for breakfast the next morning, and so there's one guy in the elevator, and he says hi to us, and we start talking to him, and he seems pretty nice, and we're like, oh yeah, we're just going out to get some breakfast, and he's like, oh, me too, let's go together. And we're like, okay. Me and my friend are so yes people that if stuff comes along our way, we're just gonna be okay, let's see where this takes us. So I mean, we're going to a public place, so we kind of know that we're gonna be safe. Yes, we just met this man, but he's staying at the hostel, what's the worst can happen? I don't know, maybe some things we made along the way weren't the smartest decisions, but I'm here now to tell the story. So we get to this breakfast place, And we sit down and we start chatting, and he's like cutting us off as we start to talk, and like he's not really like letting us get out what we need to say, and we're like, okay, like that's a little weird, whatever. Like usually you're like curious about, I honestly forget where this guy was from, but he kind of gave me like finance bro. So me and my friend like get our meals and we're eating, and like everything we did, this man had to criticize. Like my friend was pouring the water a certain way so she didn't get her sleeve in the food, and they're like, and he was just like, oh wow, you really pour, interesting. Like, you must be from Canada. That's just is that just the way that you guys pour there? And she's like, no, like I'm just trying to like not get my sleeve dirty. And then more things went on where he's like, why are you guys even cold? Like, you're from Canada, like you should be able to be fine in this weather. And we're like, that's not how it works, but okay. And then he proceeds to tell my friend after she was done eating, wow, you ate that really fast and devoured that. And my friend's like, thanks. Like, okay. And then he proceeds to ask to eat all of her leftover spinach and cookie on her plate. And so we're just like, what the heck, dude? What is going on? So it's just so funny because we thought it was just going to be like, oh, we're going to meet another traveler or whatever, but he criticized literally everything we did at this brunch. And I was like kind of not trying to laugh the entire time because I'm like, is this guy serious? Like, why does it matter what we're doing? So then I decided to save the day, and I was like, hey, these friends want to say goodbye to us at the hostel. We should get going. And my friend's like, what friends? And I'm like, the friends, trying to convince her that we need to get out of here. And she was not getting the hint that we needed to go. So she was like, no, there's no one to say bye to us. I'm like, let's get out of here. Let's leave. And something happened with the bills at the end of it. I don't really know exactly, but it was like, I don't even know if he wanted us to pay for him or something, but it was weird how the situation ended. And so he still wanted to keep hanging out with us when we left. And he was like, oh, I have this really cool bakery I want to go to. Like, you guys should come. And I'm like, we are going back to the hostel. Thank you very much. It's not too much of a crazy story. It's just more of this thing where I was like shocked that this guy had so much to say to us about what we were doing. And you're gonna meet lots of different people traveling, so many different personalities, and I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I just felt uncomfortable in the situation and also felt really judged the entire time. And like, good on him for being able to speak his mind and tell us what we're doing wrong with our life. But I was just kind of like in shock that everything that came out of his mouth. So you never know who you're gonna meet. But I've met quite a few fun people. Honestly, everyone I've met on my travels has been super nice. That was just kind of a funny story that we didn't expect to get ourselves into. And it wasn't even like that crazy of a story, but I have lots of travel stories that I'm trying to like come up with, and maybe that's what I'm going to talk about for the next 30 days. I don't know. But if you're thinking about traveling, just be prepared to make conversation with lots of people. You will have to get yourself out there. I think there's this small talk when you have like, you kind of get used to saying who you are. Like, oh, hi, I'm Chase. I'm from Canada. I don't have a job right now. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like, everyone's wondering kind of like, you have a little script when you meet people. And so like, you're going to hostels every couple of days, at least I was. And so like, you're meeting so many new people. So you have to like, oh, what are you doing? Where are you traveling from? And like all the same questions that you'll get with travelers. And it's just a fun experience, but you will talk a lot and you will have to get out of your comfort zone. So if you want to grow as a person, I definitely say go travel, because I had to really speak up and make friends and meet new people. And there's been a few situations with guys when we're traveling, like this one guy I think hit on my friend and she like denied him, and then he got mad. But then we got to the next hostel and he was at the next hostel too, even though it was like a couple hours away. So that was kind of awkward, but it was fine. So sometimes things work out how they're supposed to work out. I have a funny story out of it. And yeah, so that concludes day 1 of my 30-day challenge of posting on YouTube every single day. And I'm hoping to see what progress we make. What progress we make? Yeah. And who joins along for this journey, because it'll be fun. So thank you for listening to my story time. And thanks for coming back to my channel. It's going to be filled with lots of different fun things. Vlogs, talking, I don't know. I talk a lot, so stay tuned for it, I guess. And thanks for watching.